This is my story, and this is about how I posted 100 vlogs in 100 days. That means I filmed, edited, and posted a vlog every single day for 100 days straight. And I'm here to tell you, do not make vlogs. Especially if you're a B2B business, do not make vlogs because unless you're Daniel Day-Lin and you have 2 years worth of waiting and capital to put it into vlogs, there's something much better that you can do to actually generate a lot of leads and drive revenue for your business. The reason why I'm saying this is because I worked with 4 clients and 2 of them stopped making content completely after working with me. And that's not to say that I'm a bad editor, I think. I think it's to say that I was a great editor. And because I was a great editor, they realized that editing does not actually drive revenue. So let's stop making videos completely, right? So let me tell you about my story and why I'm telling you this and what you can do to actually drive revenue. Just an idea. And I'll deep dive in more videos in my channel. Okay. So I grew up in Dallas, Texas, very luxuriously, right? I grew up suburb. Had a great high school, middle school, everything, man. And right as I finished high school, I went to India with my dad to attend my cousin's marriage. And what sucked about that whole trip was, my dad couldn't take off work. So what that meant was in the morning there'd be Indian traditions that he'd have to do specifically, So he'd be doing those in the morning, and at night he'd be working all night. So he'd get maybe 2 to 3 hours of sleep in the afternoon, and that's it for a whole 2 weeks. And that really hit me because my cousin told me specifically, she was like, "You got to retire your dad." And it was the first time I thought about money problems that can be solved with money. So I started thinking, okay, let me just get a great job. And I realized that path would most likely lead me down to me being 40 and having so much money that I can finally retire my dad, and he's 65. So that doesn't work. So I ended up taking an entrepreneurship class, right? This guy's name is Chris Bhatti. Amazing individual. Taught me so much. And it was actually this guy named James Griffin that he brought in as a guest speaker that finally made me decide that I should pursue entrepreneurship. So I jumped headfirst into it. I walked into 50 restaurants and I pitched my services. I went, I do marketing for you guys. I want to do marketing for you guys. Can I help you? And I promise, that was my script, and it failed miserably. After a very bad in-person experience with someone, I quit completely and I decided I'm going to do a sales internship, right? So I can get actual knowledge from how lead generation works, how to actually, talk to people, right? And the problem with this was that I never actually learned enough about the product. I never actually talked to people who use the product to truly believe in it. And the founder was a great person. Like, she taught me so many things, but after, again, a very bad experience, I quit. I just called her and I was like, I quit. And no matter how much she tried to help me, I just said, I can't. And this is all very fear-based decisions. So I decided I want to take things into my own control, right? Which is what a lot of business people do, which is, okay, let me just make content. Seems like the easiest thing. Just gotta make content, just gotta make it stick. And the algorithm will take care of it. It'll make it reach the people that it needs to reach, right? And I don't know if that's a very outdated thinking, right? And I definitely thought that before starting on this journey, but it is definitely not right. Because, to actually make content succeed, you gotta make sure that you're exceptional, right? Like, for example, like Apple is at the top of their game. If you make a competitor to Apple, you're probably not going to succeed unless you're super exceptional that everyone knows about you after 5 6 years. Like, it's going to take a long time, but you have to be consistent and have to be exceptional. And it's the same with content. You have to think like you're competing against Apple, because you are, right? You're competing against the people at the top of their game, like Daniel Day-Lin, Brett Scales, like Alex Hermosi. Like, you're competing for your audience's attention with these people. So what do you actually do, right? And I'm just going to give you a rough idea of what I think you should do. Um, you got to make educational content, man. And why I'm saying that is because, especially if you're a B2B business, right, you want to make educational content. So the people who you want to attract are going to be searching up your videos and watching them. That's the most likely way your content is going to get watched, especially initially. To be popped up on the For You page of your ideal audience, it's pretty unrealistic because most people, they're watching educational, if not like infotainment, not educational. They're watching entertainment, if not infotainment, content on their For You page. So yeah, man, make content, and there's one more thing, and create like small ways that you can interact with your leads and ways that you can just bring awareness, right? I think the whole goal with a lot of businesses is that they think there's so many different ways to marketing funnels and everything, right? There's so many different parts to a funnel, right? But a lot of, like, 99% of businesses, what they struggle with is just the top part. It's just the awareness. And I've broken down exactly what that means and exactly what you can do. But man, to put it simply, it's just bringing awareness, right? Because, for the most people watching right now, your neighbor does not know what you do. And you spent months, if not years, working on your business. You know every single aspect, but your neighbor doesn't know a single thing about it. So if you're talking to your neighbor, what would you say? How would you describe your business, right? How would you describe the value that your business provides to your people? And that's what you gotta provide, man. And I love to go more into depth, but that's my story. That's who I am, and that's why I'm so passionate about funnels and content. And not like I started as an editor, but I've edited for so many people. I've sent DMs to so many people, where as soon as I sent a DM, as soon as I'm looking at the content, I'm like, no matter how much I edit for this guy, like, it's never gonna work out. And that's not something I felt once or twice. It's something I felt almost every single time I was sending an email. And I believe that needs to change, right? I think that's a change that is very behind the world that we're living in today. And the people that understand that are going to grow very, very intensely. So if you don't want to delay your growth, if you don't want to, continue on the, oh, I'll just make content and hopefully it'll stick game, then I guess watch more of my content, take my scorecard, and if you want help with the implementation, then you can contact me. If you want any advice, contact me. I got you. I'll be hosting weekly events, hopefully quarterly events as well. But yeah, man, I still gotta plan that shit out. But yeah, hopefully this was of value to you. And yeah, see you on the other side.